It looks like a profitable night. Every table is occupied. There's a wait at the door. Service is moving. Everything points to a strong shift, but the numbers don't always follow. Stay long enough, and a different pattern begins to show. Nothing obvious, just small moments that don't quite add up. You start to notice them. A table finishes their meal, but the check isn't closed right away. The next seating waits at the host stand. Another table is ready to order, but the server is tied up in another section. Orders come in all at once, and the kitchen stacks tickets during the push. Plates hold at the pass before they are picked up. The room is full, but the pace is not consistent across the floor. Under that pressure, precision gives way to speed. In the kitchen, portions move faster, with less control. Extra prep is made to stay ahead. If it doesn't sell, it becomes waste. At the bar, drinks are poured quicker. Small variations. A little more, a little less. Over and over again. On the floor, more staff step in to support the rush. Shifts extend beyond schedule. Overtime begins to build. The service continues. Guests are taken care of. But the cost of running that shift is rising. Food and beverage cost goes up. Labor cost increases with added hours and overtime. Then there's the time behind it. How many hours are paid, and how much each hour produces. The room stays full. But not every hour moves the same way. Some tables turn quickly. Others stay longer than expected. One section is busy. Another slows between orders. Staff are on the floor the entire time. But not every labor hour generates the same level of sales. From the floor, it feels like constant activity. Across the shift, output is uneven. Some hours carry the shift. Others quietly fall behind. At the same time, something else is happening at the table. Guests are ordering, but not in the way most people think. Menus are opened, but rarely read all the way through. Most people scan. They choose from what catches their eye first. They tend to settle somewhere in the middle. Not the highest, not the lowest. What's easy to choose, what feels familiar. And from there, the decision is made. Across the room, you start to see the same group of dishes ordered again and again, while others stay on the menu but barely move. Not because they're worse, but because they're not placed where guests look first. Without server guidance, orders stay smaller. Fewer high-margin items, fewer add-ons, fewer pairings, and the average check stays lower. Over time, this becomes clear. Operators begin to notice. They watch what sells and what doesn't, what gets ordered first and what gets left behind, and slowly, they begin to adjust. What's placed where guests naturally look first on the menu, often the higher-margin dishes. Staffing shifts with table turns. More hands during the rush, fewer as tables slow. In the kitchen, a sample plate is set at the start of the shift, keeping portions consistent. You can notice it during a meal. Servers suggest drinks and high-margin items. They offer wine with each courses. They recommend dessert or coffee toward the end. Small moments, repeated across the dining room, shape what guests order and what they spend. When you step back, the pattern becomes clear. The room is full, but food, beverage, and labor costs continue to rise, and not every hour produces the same, while guest spending stays lower than expected. That's why a busy restaurant can look successful and still make less than expected. Because in this business, profit doesn't come from how full the room is. It comes from what happens during the shift. So when a restaurant looks busy, it doesn't always mean it's making more money. Sometimes, it's just working harder to earn less. Next time you're in a restaurant, watch closely. How tables turn. What gets recommended. What shows up on the tables around you. Because once you notice these patterns, you start to see the business differently. Not just as a meal, but as a system in motion, where every cost affects what the business actually keeps.